You have entered the Prep Zone. I'm Bill Gallagher. Alongside me is John Sartori, and we have entered the dog pound here at Fontainebleau High School. We have the District 6 5A opener between the Mandeville Skippers and the Fontainebleau Bulldogs. Both teams coming in at 2-1. John, what do we have in store for us tonight with this matchup?
Well, for Fontainebleau, we saw in week one a team that lost to Lakeshore 27-7. They are much improved. They pulled off two big victories over Bonneville and East Jefferson, and the man carrying them on offense has been Brandon Akawi. He's leading the North Shore in rushing, and Mason Blocker, the senior quarterback, has played very well as well. He's got a 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, so this is a much improved Fontainebleau Bulldog football team. And
coming in to face them tonight is one of the teams that is normally, and some people say this year, a favorite to win the district, the Mandeville Skippers. What have you seen from them so far?
Well, there's not much more you need to know than the last name Orgeron. Parker and Cody. Cody, the quarterback, is the leading passer on the North Shore, and Parker, the wideout, is the leading receiver on the North Shore. This is one of the most talented teams in St. Tammany Parish, and I expect them to improve that record to 3-1 tonight behind the Orgeron boys.
Well, we're expecting to have a great one here tonight in the district opener of the toughest district in 5A in the state of Louisiana. You're with us here in the Prep Zone. Down on the field here, pregame with Coach Blocker of Fontainebleau. Coach, y'all are off to a 2-1 start and put up 40+ in your two previous ball games. What has been working for you guys as a ball club to get that kind of results on the board?
Well, it's real simple. It's limiting mistakes on the field and not turning the ball over, and that was so key in the opening game of the season. We correct those mistakes a little bit, and it's a totally different outcome.
And tonight's the District 6 5A opener for you guys, top to bottom, toughest 5A district in the state. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So talk to us a little bit about what you're going to have to do tonight against one of the better teams in 5A, Mandeville.
Well, it's just like I said before. It's going to be limiting mistakes, not turning the ball over, but even more than that against this team. I mean, heck, Mandeville's one of the top teams in our district and have been for a long time. A lot of playoff experience there. And for us to have success tonight, we're also going to have to be very physical with this team.
Pre-game here with Mandeville head coach Guy LeComte. Coach, you're off to a 2-1 start. So is Fontainebleau. We have a good opening district matchup here for you guys tonight. What's it going to take for you guys to be successful against this Fontainebleau club?
They're playing real good football this year. They're starting off really strong, but the same message that we say every week to our guys is really, it's not about the opponent, it's about what we do, and it's about our fundamentals and our execution.
And your pre-district schedule was about as tough as anybody's. You guys could have come out of that 0-3 and still been a really good ball club, but you did come out of it 2-1. Talk a little bit about scheduling that those tough games pre-district.
That's just something we've done every year since I've been here. I think it helps us, and I think I can contribute a lot of the success we've had in the playoffs to that type of scheduling. We feel like, in fact, my coach and I were just talking, is that it's been like 3 playoff games prior to coming into district. Our preparation needs to be that way when we play those types of teams, and I think it just creates good habits, and it makes us better as coaches and players.
Week 4 of the Prep Zone, Mandeville and Fontainebleau, and we are underway as this is going to be a touchback from Joseph Boulevas, and Fontainebleau start at the 20 with Mason Blocker. The senior quarterback has a 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio this year, and the running back, Brandon Akawi, the leading rusher on the North Shore through 3 weeks.
Now, we've seen this offense the past 2 weeks put up 40+ points, so it's going to be exciting to see how they do against a little bit better defense than they faced in weeks 2 and 3.
Mandeville shows blitz on first down, as there's 14 on the play clock. Play action, and this is going to be a dead ball. Looks like a false start on Fontainebleau.
Well, that's 3 weeks in a row, regardless of the location for us, where we have seen sketcy starts on offense.
To go long 5-yard penalty, first down 15.
So Fontainebleau will now start their first drive at the 15, and it is 1st and 15.
LXF 217. It belongs to Kevin Thomas. You need to move it immediately.
First down, play action, blockers, screen pass, caught. Blockers in front, flag comes in on the far sideline. That pass complete to the wideout number 13, Austin Lambertson, who had a pretty nice ball game the first time we saw this Fontainebleau Ball Club in week 1.
Austin Lambertson.
2 penalties
Stopped by number 5,
for Fontainebleau as the Bulldogs still looking at first down.
Bulldogs penalized once again.
Well, nice play call there. It looks like they were going to pick up the lost yardage on the penalty and a few extra. But they're going to be backed up and looking at another first down, but first and long.
First down and 25 for Fontainebleau from their own 5-yard line. Pistol formation for the Bulldogs. Cowie in motion, blocker, pump fake, takes off and runs and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten 1 on the play, 2nd down.
Well, blocker's a good athlete, and that's a play that sometimes he's going to be able to open up and make something happen on, but the Mandeville defense was ready for that. Did not catch them off guard at all.
Second down and 23 as the Bulldogs are at their own 7-yard line. Play action again. Blocker in his own end zone. Steps up and throws, and this one's dropped. Wide open was Cole Sissong. As we take a look at the offensive starters for Fontainebleau, it's Harding, Goya, Borski, Madonna, and Barrios on the O-line. Sissong, Marshall, and Lambertson are the wideouts. And then in the backfield, it's Mason Blocker, and as we said, the North Shore's leading rusher, Brandon Cowie, at running back.
Yeah, I think Sissong could kind of feel number 4, Drake Graham, breathing there, waiting for him to make that catch. He gave him a little bump after the drop, but he was there ready to make a big hit if the catch would have been made. 3rd and
23. Handoff of Cowie, breaks a tackle, breaks another, and is brought down at the 20-yard line. A 3-and-out for Fontainebleau on their first possession, but they didn't have much of a shot after those early penalties, Coach.
No, they didn't, but, you know, when you're always looking for something positive to take away from your first drive, even when it stalls out like that, Cowie had a nice pickup, picks up 10 yards right there, and, you know, Blocker had Lambertson open, and, you know, they just couldn't connect on that. They executed, just couldn't complete the pass. So it looked like they have some positive options on offense. They can get things coordinated.
Space's punt, it was almost blocked. Orgeron will field the fair catch at the Mandeville 45, and that is where Cody Orgeron, the quarterback for Mandeville, will lead his troops onto the field. The Mandeville offensive starters, Fowler, Johnson, Burkett, Vorhoff, and Davis on the O-line. Boudreaux, Lecomte, Lockhart, and Orgeron are the wideouts. And then in the backfield, it's Cody Orgeron and Fritz Walker is your running back. First down. Handoff Walker on the outside, cuts it up. Gets about 5 on the play to midfield.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup right there and a good start from Mandeville on offense. Gives them 2nd and 5.
Makes the stop.
They're going in the right direction.
Fritz Walker, 139 yards on 39 carries and a touchdown through 3 games so far this season for Mandeville. 2nd down. Walker one more time. Head of steam. Gets 2 yards. And it's 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that's some hard running right there by Walker. We know that he's going to get the ball, you know, close to 15, 18 times tonight. And you can see Mandeville has come out, and their strategy is clearly to establish a running game early on.
Two in the backfield this time for Mandeville, as we're going to have a timeout, and it'll be 3rd down when we come out of the timeout. 9:19 to go first quarter. No score, Fontainebleau and Mandeville. Third down and 3 for Mandeville. 2 in the backfield. Orgeron in motion. Play action to Walker. Orgeron rolling, throwing, and what a catch! First down to the 41-yard line. Connor Lockhart, the 6-foot, 200-pound senior wideout, snagged that one, and it's first down Mandeville.
That was a great individual effort by both Orgeron and Lockhart. Orgeron to get out of the pocket and still able to square his shoulders up, make a nice throw there. The ball slightly in front of Lockhart, but it was a good enough pass and a great reception by Lockhart to pick up a first down there.
Ball at the Fontainebleau 41. 13 on the play clock for the Skippers. Orgeron drop, quick throw is caught to the 33-yard line. Number 23, Teron Jones, 5'10", 178-pound sophomore running back on the reception. Gain of 8, 2nd and 2 Mandeville.
Mandeville showing a lot of balance here. They've had success both on the ground and throwing the ball, establishing both sides of the game on offense.
Here's Walker on the handoff, far side. Lowers the shoulder and picks up the first down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Good job by Walker there, not trying to make too much out of that opening. He saw a hold, didn't look to try and bounce that outside, knew where the sticks were, got the first down.
Mandeville moving right along here with 2 first downs on this drive thus far, as we still have yet to see Parker Orgeron get targeted. He's in motion. Cody Orgeron drops, in trouble, looking, pulls it down, and will be dropped at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
Well, it was a good job of Orgeron initially to evade tacklers in the backfield, and he was looking for something to open up as he scrambled and buy time, but good job on defense right there by Fontainebleau, not giving him anything on a broken play.
Cody Orgeron under center. Parker in the backfield. He's going to throw it back to Cody Orgeron, open on the wheel route. 15, 10, and tackled at the 8-yard line. Coach LeCompte dug into his bag of tricks there, and it's 1st and goal Mandeville.
Yeah, he had a Orgeron to Orgeron connection there. I'm sure that's a play that I don't know how many times they've been practicing it together here at Mandeville, but they've been running that play for 15, 16 years in the backyard together.
Parker Orgeron played very well when he did see time at quarterback last year, and he shows you he can throw the ball in 2015 as well. 1st and goal. Play action to Walker, throw outside is caught. And a nice tackle there on the near side. That was number 6, Gavin Scholl, as the pass was complete to Guy LeCompte, who's a big target for Mandeville at 6'4", 210 pounds.
Yeah, good job to halt that went in by LeCompte there, but even better job on defense by Fontainebleau. When you get the ball in a receiver's hands outside like that, there's always an opportunity. You make that first guy miss, and you're going to pick up big yardage. And when you're already in the red zone, that could have gone for 6. Good open field tackle.
2 backs this time. Snap, Orgeron rolling right, looking end zone. Will pull it down and will be sacked. Number 25, Nicholas Stahl, the 5'10", 165-pound junior linebacker, got the sack, and the Fontainebleau pass rush is very prevalent in the early going.
Yeah, and they made Orgeron sprint out to the short side of the field, and that eliminates the opportunity for him to extend that play and make something happen with his feet. He just ran out of room right there. They forced him towards the sideline. He had to take a sack.
3rd down and goal from the 12-yard line. Inside 6 minutes to go, first quarter, no score. Mandeville and Fontainebleau. Bulldogs with a chance to get off the field. 5 on the play clock, and a break for Mandeville as the heat and humidity timeout occurs. So Mandeville, basically, it's a free timeout, and it's going to be 3rd and goal when we come back. No score, Mandeville and Fontainebleau. 3rd down and goal. 2 receivers each side, Orgeron in motion. Cody Orgeron drops, looks, pressure coming, rolling far side, being chased, looking for the pylon, and he's out of bounds, and a flag comes in.
Well, we saw just the previous play, Fontainebleau get in the backfield, make Orgeron use his feet, but run him out near the sideline on the short side of the field. You bring pressure from the short side and give him that long sideline to run to, and that's what's going to happen with an athlete like Orgeron. He's going to make a play. Looks like the penalty is going to back the skippers up, though.
The indication was offensive pass interference, which I've never seen that called on a run, Coach. But nonetheless, it is 3rd down and goal from the 12 yet again. 2 in the backfield with Orgeron. Drop. Looking, throwing on the wheel route, got him, touchdown! Touchdown Mandeville! Touchdown Fritz Walker! And the Skippers strike first with 5:24 to go in the quarter.
That's a real nice throw-in catch right there from Orgeron to Fritz Walker. Fritz Walker's an athlete. He's a football and a baseball guy. And you get guys that are out there used to playing more than one sport, used to making different kinds of athletic moves out there. He's able to turn and make a nice catch and reception for a touchdown.
Joseph Bulavas on to make the lead 7. Snap, hold, kick up. Kick is booted through the uprights. And with 5:24 to go first quarter, the Skippers strike first. It is Mandeville 7 and Fontainebleau nothing. Joseph Bulavas gets us back underway from the dog pound. And it'll be another touchback through the back of the end zone. And Fontainebleau will again start at the 20. As on that first drive, they went backwards, Coach.
Yeah, they did. We talked about, you want to talk about some positive things when they come off the field. And, you know, the one play that they did give Akawi an opportunity to get his hands on the ball, he did pick up 10 yards. Now, it was 3rd and 20 when he picked up 10 yards, so that didn't help him out at all. They came out looking like they wanted to establish the fact that they can pass the ball, and they found it a little rough going against this Mandeville defense initially. See if they maybe go to Akawi to start things off here after getting positive yardage at the end of the last drive.
2 receivers to each side. Akawi in the backfield, a side blocker. Play action again. Blocker in trouble. Blocker is dropped and the ball is loose. And Blocker got back on it. 2nd down.
Fumble recovered by 53, Tanner.
Oh, look, there's no doubt Blocker is a prolific passer. He's great with the ball in his hands. But right now, everybody out here knows that they're passing the ball. They're looking to throw the ball early. And the problem with doing that is when you're not successful and you take a sack like that, now you're in 2nd and long, and you pretty much have to throw the ball again. If you don't, you're going to get positive yardage, but you're still probably going to be looking at 3rd and long.
Mandeville shows blitz. They back off. Blocker, straight drop. Throw is caught. What a throw from Blocker. Pass complete to number 3. That was Devin Fury. First catch of the night for him.
And that is why I don't coach football, because just as I'm saying that they need to establish a run, they pick up a big 1st down on the arm of Blocker.
Bulldogs spread them out 5 wide this time, following their first down of the evening. Ball spotted on the 31-yard line. Akawi in motion, and it's going to be another Fontainebleau penalty, I assume.
Yeah, it looked like number 53, Tanner Borski, the center, actually flinched there before he snapped the ball.
Against the Bulldogs, mark off 5 yards, 1st down, 15.
Penalties killing Fontainebleau in this first quarter. They finally got some momentum on their side, and that momentum is now gone. 1st down and 15.
Well, the first couple of weeks we talked about early on in the year, seeing mistakes from some young guys, and now you're week 4, you're near the halfway point of the year. These are the kind of things that coaches just, it drives them crazy.
Play action to Akawi, caught. Lambertson, 35, and taken down at the 37-yard line. Tackle made by Evan Guillory, 5'9", 151-pound junior corner.
Well, I'm going to look to see Mandeville bring a little bit more pressure like they've done early on with some blitzes from the inside, because when they have done that and they've made blocker rush, he's been a little bit less successful. When they sit back, blocker's going to pick them apart. So I expect to see a little bit more pressure right here.
Hand off of Cowie, and he's brought down quickly.
Brandon Cowie carries. On the stop of the
Looks like Cowie's going to be just short.
Snyder.
Kyle Snyder on the stop for Mandeville, the 6'3", 195-pound senior. 3rd down and 2. And this is Brandon and Cowie territory, I would believe, if you're Fontainebleau. As they will now give Fontainebleau the first down late. So check that. It is 1st down and 10. And Fontainebleau, 2 first downs on this drive.
Yeah, we're seeing them kind of put some things together here, and now they've been successful in both facets. So you're going to see Mandeville a little bit on their heels now.
Here's a Cowie looking for some running room across the 45 to the 46.
Yeah, that was a give by blocker to a Cowie on the read option. It'll be interesting to see as they're successful with that play and Mandeville starts to clench down on that give. Sooner than later, you're going to see blocker, pull on that, and he's going to get good positive yardage just outside the end.
Blocker on a screen pass to Lambertson. Got blockers in front to the 49-yard line. They'll mark it at the 50. It's going to be close to a first down.
Number 46, Snyder.
That was a good job by Schneider right there because he was blocked pretty well on the outside, and that's why Lambertson cut it inside because he had blocking. Looked like he had a seam there. Snyder got free of that block and made a nice play.
3rd down and 1. Fontainebleau tries the hard count. Mandeville is not biting. Plenty of time on the play clock, 12 seconds. They'll throw, and it is dropped. Incomplete. And coach, it never looked like Mason Blocker was comfortable throwing that football.
No, it almost looked like he might not have had the ball in his hands clean when it came out. Right at midfield here, though, I think you're probably going to see Fontainebleau go for this.
Pass was intended for Cole Sissong, who just could not handle it. And the punt team is going to come on for Fontainebleau. Interesting decision by Coach Blocker with the ball at midfield and only 1 yard to gain in a game where Mandeville most likely has some more talent and definitely more experience than Fontainebleau. You'd think Fontainebleau would try to push the issue, but they're going to play it safe. They're going to punt the ball away, and Parker Orgeron is back deep. And this is going to be a delay of game against Fontainebleau, so there's 5 more yards and some more punting room.
Well, you saw a shift put on there by Fontainebleau, I think in the hopes to make Mandeville second guess themselves a little bit there, maybe try and make them burn a timeout.
Referees meeting on your screen there as we await the call.
And you kind of wonder what Coach Blocker had drawn up there. It is 4th and maybe even less than a yard at midfield. You see an unorthodox shift in punt formation. You got to wonder what's coming next. And again, to go back to, I got Brandon Akawa in the backfield. Got to at least be given some thought to going for it on 4th and 1.
Still awaiting a call.
The white Toyota Tacoma belongs to Timothy Threlkel.
As all 4 referees are in on this one now.
Pilot belongs to Dorothy Scholl.
Well, Coach Blocker's conversation, I'm sure, must have been very convincing because they're spending a lot of time here with it.
See Coach Blocker trying to persuade the referee there. And he will give up his argument. So Sean Spees will be on to punt for Fontainebleau as they will finally move this ball back 5 yards to the Fontainebleau 45.
I didn't catch it, but it looked like Coach Blocker was pointing towards the play clock, so I wonder if he felt like there should have been a little bit more time up there. You ever see the shift again?
Oh, and that should be offsides on Mandeville, and it will. So there you get the 5 yards back.
But it's not enough.
Will Coach Blocker put his offense back out now?
See, that's what he was going for initially, and it would have picked up the first down.
Fontainebleau fans urging Coach Blocker to put the offense back out, but the punt team is still on 4th and 1. Cowan in motion. And they're going to punt this one away, and it's almost blocked again. Fair catch called for and hauled in at about the 6-yard line. That's 2 that the Mandeville special teams have almost blocked.
Yeah, but that was a great punt right there from midfield to pin them inside their own 10. Ball's going to be marked, looks like right at the 6-yard line. I think if I'm Coach LeCompte, I'm almost wanting Orgeron maybe to let that one bounce at the 6.
So the Skippers come out for their second drive of the game. They went 55 yards on 12 plays to score the opening touchdown in this one. And that is what has them up 7-0 with 1:36 to go, first quarter. Play action. Orgeron in trouble, throwing it back across his body, looking for number 12 Fritz Walker on a dangerous pass. It falls incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And that right there is why Coach Blocker punted the ball away, because on several occasions on defense last possession, while they did give up a touchdown, there were a couple of times where they really did get good pressure on Orgeron. And they're just to play it 2 away here from, you know, getting the ball back in good territory.
2nd down. Pistol formation for Mandeville with 14 on the play clock. Fontainebleau student section finally getting into it for the first time tonight. A large one at that. Orgeron will take a shot for Parker downfield. Incomplete. Beautiful coverage out there from number 6, Gavin Scholl, who made a nice tackle on the first drive and had great coverage on the North Shore's leading receiver in Parker Orgeron.
That's three good high school football players right there. That was a really pretty ball that Cody threw. Parker got up, showed a lot of athleticism right there, almost makes that play. And Scholl, let me tell you what, cornerback's a very difficult position to play, especially for Scholl's 5'7", trying to guard a serious athlete in 6'1" Orgeron, and he was right there with him every step of the way.
3rd down and 10, Fontainebleau looking to get off the field. Orgeron will throw, he's in trouble, rolling near side, throwing on the run, and it's incomplete. He threw it behind the intended receiver in Guy LeCompte, and it's a 3 and out, and the Fontainebleau defense makes Coach Blocker's decision pay off.
Absolutely. That's why Coach Blocker gets paid to coach football right there. And he knows his personnel better than anybody else does. So while you and I sit up here wondering why he doesn't go for it, and we hear the fans asking for him to go for it, he knows what he's doing. That's a great call. It looks like it's going to really pay off here for Coach Blocker.
Cole Sissong is back deep. And Joseph Boulevas is the punter, and he's been booming them thus far. And he puts his leg into another one. Takes a skipper bounce, and it'll head out of bounds at the 47-yard line. And with 1:09 to go first quarter, Fontainebleau, they've improved on every drive thus far. They still have yet to put points on the board, and they're going to look to cut into that lead on this drive. First and 10 from the Fontainebleau 48. Handoff of Cowie, spins out of a tackle and is now gang tackled at the Mandeville 49-yard line. 1 minute to go first quarter.
And we see again Fontainebleau starting off with that read option, giving the ball to a Cowie. Mandeville played that one pretty straight up, had all their bases covered right there, did a good job. Blocker pulls that, and he's not picking up much more yards than a Cowie did.
Play action to a Cowie. Looking deep, got him there, he dropped it! The receivers are letting down Fontainebleau's Mason Blocker thus far, and it is Austin Lambertson this time, as he might have gone for 6 if he hung on to that one, Coach.
Yeah, he was gone. He was going to score, and you know, earlier on, one of Blocker's throws was a little bit off. You could have said he let him a little bit too much. That was a perfect throw right there. Lamberson's, I know he's going to be thinking about that one later on.
36 seconds to go first quarter, and it is another third down for Fontainebleau. Rolling near side is Blocker, throwing on the run, and this one is caught. Did he get the foot down? He did. Cole Sissong. First down, Fontainebleau into Mandeville territory. They'll mark the ball at the 37-yard line.
That's a great job by number 19, Cole Sissong, right there. And I have a feeling that we're going to see Blocker go back to Lambertson again. I know he's got confidence in him. That's just one drop. It happens. He's going to look for number 13 again sooner than later here.
Blocker keeps it himself, and he's in trouble, and he'll head out of bounds. It'll be a loss of 3 on the play.
Out of bounds, about the 40-yard
oh, and they're going to call Jonathan Picone for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Tackle, number 26,
as
number
he was jawing with Blocker, but we've heard before this game that Picone and Blocker are good friends. The referees obviously do not know that, and it'll be 15 free yards for Fontainebleau.
Yeah, and that's more than likely what the case was right there, and that's a shame in those kind of situations. We did talk about that pregame, but that is part of the game. It's not the referee's job to determine whether or not you're good friends. You open your mouth when you're not supposed to. Those are the kind of things that happen. On that play, we saw that lead option, and that time Blocker decided to keep. Mandeville had the play diagnosed well. Outside end did a good job and stayed with Blocker. Took him down for a 3-yard loss, but that penalty has Fontainebleau in business right here.
First down and 10 from the Mandeville 24 for Fontainebleau.
Look for redemption right here from number 7.
Blitz coming. Handoff to Cowie. Plenty of running room. Breaks the tackle. Inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
Now we see that balance starting to pay off for Fontainebleau right here. They're running the ball well. They're throwing the ball well. Now Mandeville can't key in on any one thing.
Pick up to the 13-yard line.
And Fontainebleau really has some momentum moving the ball right now.
Fontainebleau probably going to get one more play off before the quarter ends. Down to 8 seconds. Snap, Blocker, play action, screen pass. Caught and dropped was Austin Lambertson. Stop made on the play by Evan Guillory, who snuffed it play out. And at the end of the first quarter, Fontainebleau is driving, but they are trailing. The score at the end of one is the Mandeville Skippers 7 and the Fontainebleau Bulldogs nothing.
St. Tammany Parish Public Schools, an A-rated school district. Graduates with the highest ACT scores in the state. Facilities with the latest technology. Safe and secure schools. A variety of sports. Fine arts. And learning to last a lifetime.
I'm Superintendent Trey Foles, and this is where we educate every child, every day.
Start of the second quarter, 2nd and 16 for Fontainebleau, deep in Mandeville territory. A Cowie in motion. Blocker will keep it himself, up the middle. And he's gang tackled and stopped forward progress at the 17-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and long for Fontainebleau.
Well, Blocker's a good athlete, and we've seen him before make moves with his feet. But right now, he is not their best option against this Mandeville defense. He's their best option throwing the ball, but not with his feet.
4 wide, 3 to the far side, 1 near side. Cowie's going to be in the backfield. It's going to be 3rd and 15. Bulldogs need the 2. Blocker, throw to the end zone, is intercepted on a beautiful play from Drake Graham. And coach, in our first game of the season, we saw Mason Blocker make poor decisions near the goal line against Lakeshore. He makes another one there, and Fontainebleau had a chance for at least 3 points, and now they'll leave with nothing.
Yeah, I think Blocker was getting a little antsy there. He's probably getting frustrated. He's having trouble running the ball, and he's had a receiver drop a pass. He looked like he's trying to just fit one into too tight of a spot right there.
LC 221-043.
First down and 10 for Mandeville. Handoff to the outside, cutting it up and tackled was number 23, Teron Jones, who has a reception in this game. His first carry goes for 5 yards, second down.
That was a nice piece of running by Jones. See a little bit of speed there. It looks like he's got a little bit more speed in the backfield maybe than Walker does.
Jones and Lockhart in the backfield with Orgeron. Orgeron keeps it himself. No blocking there. He sidesteps 2 defenders and is brought down by number 10, Noah Ruby. 6 feet, 160-pound senior.
Yeah, you had Riley Stevens outside right there trying to block, and looks like he was a little indecisive about which of the 2 to get his hands on, and he kind of split the difference.
First down following that run. Handoff Jones, and he's tackled in the backfield. Stop made by Grant Wadja. 5'11", 185-pound senior, made a nice play that time.
We're seeing real good play on the defensive line by both of these teams. It looked like there was a little hesitation, a little smallest of miscues on that exchange in the backfield. And that's all it takes right now for these defensive lines to get their hands on guys.
Mandeville trying to get Fontainebleau to jump. They will not. 16 on the play clock. Orgeron looking for a slant route. Caught. Breaking a tackle is Guy Lecomte. A yard shy of the first down. 3rd down and 1 for Mandeville.
That was a nice job. Good pass right there. Reception by Lecomte. I think they got a pretty good spot right there because it looked like Lecomte's knee went down about a yard shy of where they are.
You need to pay attention. There's a lot of cars being legally parked between the junior high and high school. White Dodge Ram pickup belonging to Greg Krause.
Second down.
Dodge crossover belonging to Linda Owens.
As there's an officials conference.
A dark brown GMC Yukon
as a flag came in late.
George Krause. And a white Nissan Altima belonging to Brandy Boza.
Here's the call. Illegal receiver downfield for Mandeville, so that gain is wiped out, and it is a loss of down as well.
Ineligible downfield is the
so it's going to be
the skippers. The
3rd down.
A mark off and loss of down.
I wonder what kind of formation they were going to have to go back and look at that. I wonder if Lecomte was covered up on the outside. He was in the slot, but he may not have been eligible.
As we are still not ready, as the officials are still meeting. See it on the left side of your screen there, and now they will mark it off. So we're ready. It's 3rd down.
25, it'll be 3rd down and 15.
3rd down and 15 for Mandeville. They need the 40-yard line. Orgeron drop. Throw to the outside is caught. Connor Lockhart sidesteps 1 man. Will not break a second tackle. Looked like number 44, Matthew Stacy, the 5'10", 185-pound senior, was on the stop. And it is another punting situation for Mandeville.
Real nice job by the Fontainebleau secondary there. Good pursuit. And looks like the defense here is going to get off the field. And that's a break for the Fontainebleau offense because they put them in that position right there. Could have flipped field position and changed a little bit of the momentum for Fontainebleau, but they're going to get the ball back here in decent field position and hopefully can put another nice drive together.
Cole Sissone back to receive. High snap to Boulevas. Gets it off. Line drive kick. Will take a skipper roll. and will be down at the 37-yard line of Fontainebleau.
38 of the Skippers downs it. That's Garrett Williams. Bulldogs take over
Seen
at their
both
own
teams so
38-yard
far
line, first and
really
10.
get after the punters.
So now Mason Blocker looking for some redemption after throwing the ball away the last time he was on the field. First down and 10 from the 38 with 8:20 to go before halftime.
I think both of these coaches must have seen something on film that they feel like they can get after in special teams, particularly on punt situations. And I'm going to say before the night's over, we're either going to see a punt blocked or we're going to see a big roughing the kicker penalty.
Play action on first down on a good fake, but Blocker's throw is behind his intended receiver. They call this one a lateral, and Mandeville is going to return it for a touchdown. What a call! And Mandeville is up 13-0, as it was number 5, Nicholas Merrick, who returned it all the way. Or that is Merrick Nicholas, excuse me, picked up the lateral, and there's no review in high school football, so no matter how controversial that call is, it will stand. And Mandeville has a 13-0 lead just like that.
I guess I'm about as shocked as the Fontainebleau crowd and team is right now, as I guess we'll see on the replay whether or not that was a forward pass. But man, we just said they get the ball back, not in bad field position, have an opportunity to move it again. They've done some positive things, and that is a backbreaker right there.
Bulovas on to make the lead, 2 touchdowns. Snap is high, hold is down, kick is up, kick is good. 8:08 to go, the Mandeville defense gets into it. It is now the Mandeville Skippers 14 and the Fontainebleau Bulldogs nothing. Joseph Bulovas will kick it away. 3 touchbacks on the night, and this one will not be one, as Ethan Cowan is going to have a chance, muffs it, and now fields it. And is tackled hard at the 17-yard line. Stop made by number 27, Rashad Haynes, 182-pound, 5'9" sophomore.
So now the Fontainebleau offense needs to come back out on the field, settle down. They've had plenty of success moving the football tonight. 2 bad plays on their last 2 snaps. They need to just wipe that away from their memory. They were looking to maybe put a drive together, tie this game up 7-7. That didn't happen. It's 14-0, but one good drive here, and they've had success both ways here of throwing and running the football. One good drive, and it's 14-7. Take up a lot of clock time. They're getting the ball to start the second half. The defense has done a good job.
From their own 7.
There was a penalty against Fontainebleau on that kickoff, and the Bulldogs are going to start this drive at their own 7-yard line.
And it's a killer.
Blocker, pump fake, looking deep down the sideline, taking a shot, and there's no one there. Poor throw from Blocker into the 2nd down and 10. Might have not been a bad decision, as there was good coverage from the Mandeville secondary on that far side.
I'm going to look right now for either Blocker to make a quick short pass, maybe on a flat to a Cowie, or on a quick slant, or either put the ball directly in a Cowie's hands so that they can settle down a little bit here and get some positive yardage.
The Cowie has not been used to the fullest of his abilities so far tonight. Blocker keeps it himself, and he's tackled in the backfield.
Blocker.
Mandeville did not fall for the read option, and it is 3rd and long, and Fontainebleau is in the shadow of their own goalpost.
Yeah, well, look, we've been talking about it. That read option had some success early on with the give. They've had no success when Blocker has pulled the ball. Mandeville has, it's clear that they're making a conscious effort. They are not going to let Mason Blocker beat them on that read.
Trips near side, 1 far. Blocker will hand it off to a Cowie. A Cowie's got some running room, and he cannot break the tackle. If he would have, it would have been a first down. but he is tackled at the 10-yard line, a gain of 7. So he splits the difference. It is 4th down and 7 for Fontainebleau.
Now that penalty hurts them. That backed them up right there, and they have a quick 3 and out. Only took up about a minute of the game clock. Now they're punting the ball back
for the punt
to Mandeville here with plenty of time.
Single safety for the skipper.
And coach, they've been getting close to blocking punts, and they're going to be all out here.
Absolutely.
Ball spotted at the 9. Snap. Here they come, and they will not block it.
There it is. There's the flag.
Fontainebleau, depending on what the call is, whether it's roughing or running, may get a first down.
I don't think we're going to see a roughing there. But we just finished saying it. They're so close. We're going to see it happen at some point. Going to get the block or going to get the call.
Here is the call, and it's a personal foul.
Wow.
First down, Fontainebleau.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, if it's not a personal foul, there's a real good chance Fontainebleau is just going to decline it because it was a really good punt, took a good roll. I don't think that they would have risked punting it again for 5 yards. It would not have been worth it. Now here we go again. Now you got a little bit more room to work with. You look for something real simple, low risk on first down here. Something hopefully maybe involving a Cowie to just pick up some more of that momentum for Fontainebleau.
I know the Bulldogs have made it clear that they are trying to pass the ball early, but down 2 touchdowns, you're only down 2 touchdowns with plenty of time to go. I would rely on Brandon and Cowie a lot more. You can afford to have long drives at this point in the game. First down and 10 from their own 24 for the Bulldogs. Here is a Cowie. Breaks a tackle and is brought down at the 26-yard line. Excuse me. Gain of 4 on first down.
On the stop, number 59, Damani.
And look, the clock is still ticking away.
Gain of about 3.
So now you pick up 4.
Second down, 7.
You didn't throw an incompletion, so the clock doesn't stop. So if you don't convert on this possession, you're not giving the ball back to Mandeville with a ton of time either, knowing you're getting the football to start the second half.
Inside 6 minutes to go, and we are going to have the heat and humidity timeout in the second quarter. It is Mandeville 14 and Fontainebleau nothing. Out of the timeout, 2nd and 7 for Fontainebleau. Play action, blocker, looking, throwing, and it is incomplete. Another drop from Austin Lambertson as that one was a little behind him.
Yeah, nice route right there by Lambertson. Created some space. Would have been close. Probably had enough for a first down right there if it would have been a completion.
Third down yet again for the Fontainebleau Bulldogs.
And again, the clock stops on that incompletion, so you really have a lot of pressure on you right here if you're Fontainebleau to convert just to keep the drive alive, take some more time off. You do not want to be punting, giving Mandeville 5 minutes plus.
Play action again. Pressure coming off the edge. Blocker eludes it. Still looking, throwing on the run, and it is incomplete. Looking for Austin Lambertson, who was quadruple covered there, and it is 4th down again.
Well, Fontainebleau is just going to have to settle down. There's some adjustments they're going to need to make at halftime on offense. They're going to need to shorten up some of these routes. I understand trying to make plays down the field, but right now those guys are not getting any kind of separation. They're not beating anybody downfield.
Single safety.
Cowan in motion on the punt. Low snap. This one is off very calmly. Orgeron calls fair catch, and he takes it in at the 31-yard line. 5:32 to go before halftime. Mandeville coming back on the field.
We're starting to see something that's been a theme thus far in all of our matchups, and that is when you have these kind of rivalry type games, teams that are familiar with each other starting to get just a little bit tense on the field down there.
Rashad Haynes, the back for Mandeville. Botched handoff. Orgeron will be tackled in the backfield. Stop made by number 12, Kyle Babin, who was fired up after that play. Big loss for Mandeville on first down.
That's a nice play by Babin. And really, you know, we've seen Fontainebleau's defense do a really nice job thus far tonight. One of the things we talked about coming in was the fact that the offense has put up 40-plus points 2 weeks in a row, but thus far it's been the defense that's keeping them in the ball game right now.
Second down, Orgeron, straight drop, looking, got a man open, throwing it over the middle, and it's caught! Foot race! 35-30, see ya! Touchdown! Touchdown Mandeville! Touchdown Connor Lockhart! Under the scoreboard, 20-0, Mandeville on a beautiful throw from Cody Orgeron.
And just as I finish, a mouthful of complimenting the Fontainebleau defense.
Cody Orgeron to
you see
Lockhart for 76 yards.
Right up the seam right there. That was a very nice throw and a nice catch. Lockhart showed a little bit of speed right there. 6 foot 200, he's moving.
Boulevas on to make it a 21-point game. Snap, hold, kick, up, kick is good. 4:45 to go before halftime. Mandeville opening this one up to a comfortable lead now. The score is Mandeville 21 and Fontainebleau nothing. Joseph Boulevas to kick it away as Mandeville has opened this lead up to 21-0. Boulevas puts his right foot into that one, and it will be fielded in the end zone for a touchback. And Fontainebleau will yet again start at the 20.
The Crimson Band sponsor
plenty of time
for this evening
here
is Jimmy John.
For Fontainebleau to put something together, get on the board.
Support this local
before
business
halftime.
that supports your band.
They desperately need some positives on the offensive side of the ball. They don't even necessarily need to score. Obviously, they would like to, but they just need to pick up a little bit of momentum going into the half and carry that over into the first possession of the second half.
Inside 5 minutes to go before halftime. Sissung in motion. Blocker rolling near side. Throw! Sissung, and it's almost intercepted. That was the touchdown score. Merrick Nicholas jumping that route. It was off his fingertips, and he almost had an interception that time.
And Blocker was just a little bit late getting that ball out because Sissong was open early on in that route.
Second down,
just need to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. You know, what's getting lost in some of the errant throws by Blocker is the Mandeville defense is causing it. Mason Blocker didn't come out here and lay an egg. Mandeville's defense is getting after him and pressuring him and forcing him to make quick decisions, not letting him set his feet.
5 wide for Blocker. Looking far side, now looking back near side. Trouble, throwing it away. He had a plethora of open receivers, but could not find one to throw the ball to, and it is again third down.
Well, I'll tell you what, he had open receivers, but that was a design screenplay, and the Mandeville defensive line, again, fantastic job, did not bite, took away the screen, and then by the time he looked to his second option, he didn't have any more time left. He was being pressured, had to get rid of the football. Seeing really solid play on the D-line by Mandeville right now.
Third down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They'll line up with trips near side, one far side, Acowie, the running back, in the backfield. Snap, Blocker, speed option, and the ball is loose. Fontainebleau will fall on it, but it will not matter. Another 3 and out on a very interesting play call on third and long.
For the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was an interesting play call, and I played a little bit of quarterback when I was in high school, and one of the rules that we had when we ran the option was when you are inside your own 20, you do not pitch the ball. When I was 16 years old, I thought that was just because I wasn't any good. And the real reason is because of things like that.
Parker Ogeron, single safety.
So yet again, Fontainebleau will punt from their own end zone. Pressure does not get there this time as this punt heading out of bounds, and Mandeville is going to get great field position off of that poor punt from Sean Spees. They'll mark it at the 42-yard line of Fontainebleau, and Mandeville with 3:43 to go will get the ball back, barring a penalty flag that was thrown.
Far side of the field right there. Would have thought that it may have been a false start or illegal procedure, but if that was the case, I don't know if they'd be taking this much time.
For our varsity, junior varsity, and freshman teams. Bosco,
As we are still
Italian
awaiting
Cafe,
a call.
Familia Cafe, Sal and Judy's, the Movie Tavern. and
Referee will
North
get
Shore
to
Wing
midfield and will make the call. It'll go against Mandeville, but the offense comes back out nonetheless. And the Skippers are going to start yet another drive. But instead of it being at the Fontainebleau 42, they will be pushed back into their own territory
against the Skippers.
and will start at their own 48-yard line.
Plenty of time on the board right here for Mandeville to put another score up.
Two receivers each side. Orgeron, handoff, Walker, cutting it up and tackled at the 47-yard line in Fontainebleau territory.
Left side.
I expect to see Lecomte throw the ball here, because if I'm him, my defense is doing such a good job that I'm not afraid. Even if we don't convert here on offense, Mandeville that is, I'm not afraid of the Fontainebleau offense right now, the way my defense is playing.
13 on the play clock as Mandeville looks to the sideline. Orgeron drops, steps up in the pocket, throws it downfield, and is overthrown as Orgeron looked for Guy Lecomte there. Good coverage on the play from the Fontainebleau secondary.
We do have a flag near the line of scrimmage, though.
It'll go against Mandeville. It'll be a holding call. So they'll move this ball back 10 yards.
10-yard penalty,
And it'll be
against the
2nd and
Skippers for
16.
Again, I won't be surprised to see Mandeville throw the ball right here. That time, Orgeron just overthrew everybody.
18 on the play clock as Mandeville awaits the signal from the sideline. Fritz Walker will now split out wide, and it'll be 5 wide for Mandeville with 4 on the play clock. They do just get it off. Orgeron looking near side, rolling near side, throwing across his body, and it is caught. 45 and hit hard at the 43-yard line. Reception made by number 82, Eddie Venison, 6'1", 146-pound senior, and it is 3rd down and about 4.
That's a nice catch right there, and it's a very nice throw, thrown across his body. Orgeron set his feet.
Orgeron on a screen pass. Lecomte has room. 1st down and more across the 35 to the 33-yard line.
Receiving call from Cody Orgeron.
Another flag out on the field.
This, from where I stand, looks like it's going to go against Fontainebleau. But I could be wrong, as the Mandeville offense is retreating.
That's another good throw right there by Orgeron. Seems like a simple one, but he put the ball out in front right there of Lecomte. Did not slow down his momentum at all. Gave him an opportunity. It's going to be a face mask.
It'll go against Grant Waja. So add 15 yards to the end of the run, and Mandeville is again threatening to make it a 4-touchdown game.
That's a huge penalty right there. as Mandeville is within striking distance here with a new set of downs. And we saw in pregame they're well within field goal range already now.
5 wide for Mandeville. Orgeron, straight drop, looking, slant route is caught. Fritz Walker will be pushed back, and his forward progress will be spotted at the 14-yard line. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Walker.
Nice play call right there within their own 20. Not a high-risk call, pick up 4 or 5 yards. Now you've got second and very manageable, and your playbook's wide open on this, so Fontainebleau's got to be careful. They can't sit back and
second down and 6 with 90 seconds to go before halftime. Orgeron, handoff Walker, tackled after a gain of 2.
Fritz Walker carries. On the stop for the Bulldogs, number 55.
And it'll be 3rd down. A minute 15 to go before halftime.
3rd down, 5.
We'll call it a gain of 1. 3rd and 5.
Mandeville does have timeouts left. Expect them to likely take one after this play.
Snap, Orgeron, pump fake, rolling near side, cutting it up, and he is hit and dropped. At the line of scrimmage, 4th down.
Babin makes the stop.
And we will most likely see the field goal unit on the field.
4th down, 6.
As the Skipper offense is going to stay on the field. 35 seconds left. There is a 14-second difference between the play clock and the game clock, as we might just see Coach LeCompte let that play clock wind down and call a timeout.
Yeah, I think you're going to see him wind it down, and thought maybe they would have tried to draw Fontainebleau off sides, but it looks like they're just over 5 yards to go.
Mandeville takes a timeout, and with 16 seconds to go before halftime, we're going to stay here to attempt this field goal.
Bulldogs football, thanks.
As coach, in this first half, Fontainebleau came out really strong defensively. What do you think happened?
How they deliver?
Well, I think they're a little bit tight on offense. The past 2 games, they've put up big numbers on offense, not against Mandeville caliber defense. And I think that they started when they weren't getting the production they've been used to getting. They started to get a little tight.
A 30-yard field goal from Joseph Bullivas on the left hash. Snap, hold, kick up, kick is wide left. So the Fontainebleau defense holds, and Joseph Bullivas inaccurate on his first field goal attempt of the night, and the score remains 21-0. Mandeville over Fontainebleau with 11 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, that's a small break right there for Fontainebleau, as Bullivas has a live leg. You saw that one, although it was wide left.
Take over 1st and 10 from
it probably had 25 more yards on it. He was kicking them from 51, 52 yards in pregame, but those were from dead on midfield.
So with 11 seconds to go in the half and 2 timeouts to work with, most likely we're just going to see Fontainebleau try to run out the clock. Mandeville will get the ball to start the second half after winning the toss and deferring to the second half. McCowie gets the handoff, spins off a tackler, and will be tackled, and that will do it for the first half in this one as the clock strikes 0. All Mandeville in the first half. The score at halftime is the Mandeville Skippers 21 and the Fontainebleau Bulldogs nothing.
Music for this year's show features songs by those blockbuster artists Frank Sinatra, Bobby Darin, and Paul Anka. We begin tonight's show with our second movement featuring the Latin-style version of Frank Sinatra's Luck Be a Lady, and then move directly into another Sinatra favorite, My Way. This year, the Skipper Band is dedicating its halftime and competition performances to drum major Caroline Nation as we support her on her march through treatment for a recent diagnosis of lymphoma. Be brave and march on, Caroline. And now, under the field direction of drum majors Sean Peterson, Ryan Parker, and Caroline Nation, here is the 2015 Skipper Marching Band. Our next selection for this evening's halftime show features a song made popular by singer, songwriter, record producer, and 10-time Grammy Award winner, Pharrell Williams. Please join the Skipper Band in welcoming to the field the 2015 edition of the Mandeville High School Spinnakers to perform to the Pharrell pop hit, Marilyn Monroe.
Let's groove.
Sean Spees to kick it away as we are ready for the second half from the dog pound. Mandeville and Fontainebleau, the Skippers, up 21-0. We are back underway as Spees' kick will be fielded at the 5. 20, and tackled at the 29-yard line was number 23 for Mandeville, Teron Jones.
We saw some more of the speed right there from Jones. He's had a couple of times where he's been able to carry the ball in the backfield for the Skippers, and he's had some success. They've also found him in the passing game, and I was mistaken earlier in the game towards the end of the first half when I said that Fontainebleau was going to get the ball back. They went 3 and out quickly on their first possession, made it seem like they were on defense to start the game.
First and 10 from the 30 for Mandeville. Quick throw is caught and snuffed out quickly. Pass was complete to Connor Lockhart, who scored a touchdown in the first half and had a nice first half to go along with that.
Hey, see Mandeville come out. You know, they're in control comfortably, up 21-0. You expect them to run some low-risk plays right here, give their athletes an opportunity to break something open.
Walker in motion. Handoff Fritz Walker to the outside. He's dropped in the backfield. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage as it looked like Jack Jablonski got there first. And it is 3rd and 5.
That's a good job right there by the defensive line of Fontainebleau. They've looked sharp at points thus far in this game.
Orgeron, play action throw is caught. First down to the 41-yard line. Pass complete to Parker Orgeron. No, that's Guy Lecomte, excuse me. And it is another Mandeville first down as Fontainebleau's defense just could knock it off the field.
Well, that's a great play call right there and great execution on the part of Mandeville as Lecomte got right to the sticks, made a nice throw low where nobody else could get to it.
Orgeron, first down, dangerous pass, and it's picked off! Coming back the other way, midfield, 45, and a flag is down. So hold the phone as the pass was intercepted by Fontainebleau's Jordan Burke, and barring a penalty, Fontainebleau got their biggest defensive play of the night.
Well, that's a big play to start off for Fontainebleau right there, and I think regardless of that penalty, it's going to be after the catch. It looks like they will have the football.
Awaiting the call. Holding against Fontainebleau, but it will be Fontainebleau football. So Jordan Burke catches the ricochet, and the Bulldogs are in business. They will start at their own 44-yard line.
That's just the kind of break they needed. We haven't seen a big play yet from the Bulldogs on defense. Well, let's see if the offense can settle down here, try and establish a run game. Get some quick hits here for Mason Blocker.
Orgeron's second interception of the season and second in as many weeks, and it's a trick play on first down, and Mandeville is not having it, and it's intercepted. Evan Guillory with the interception, and just like that, Fontainebleau gives the ball back as Brandon Akawi on a similar play we saw Mandeville run in the first quarter. The Skippers weren't having it defensively, and the offense is right back on the field.
No, that play never had a shot. Evan Guillory stayed deep, was not fooled, did not get sucked in. He was behind the play the entire time, and Akawi was rushed. He just threw that one up for grabs, and it was Guillory coming in from his deep position to make, really was an easy play. Great job by him.
1st and 10, handoff to Ron Jones. Gets 2 or 3, 2nd down.
You know, you take a chance with that play, trying to capitalize off the momentum of the interception, but you got to be smart. You run the play. He doesn't have to throw that ball deep right there. And if anything, he's rushed out of the pocket already. That's the design of the play. You're not going to get a grounding call. You throw it away, throw it out of bounds, and you're going to live to fight another down. You don't put it up for grabs in the secondary.
Orgeron looking near side, throw is caught out to the 40-yard line, and this will be a Mandeville first down as the pass was complete to Alex Boudreau, the 5'10", 155-pound senior's first reception of the game.
So these receivers for Mandeville are a big difference in the game right now. You're seeing Mandeville with quick passes, getting the ball in the hands of these receivers and making plays.
Orgeron can't find anyone open. He's going to take off and run, and he will get a yard on the play. Tackle made by number 44, Matthew Stacy, the 5'10", 185-pound senior linebacker.
And again, the difference we're seeing is when Mandeville completes short passes, their receivers a little bit more athletic and are making plays and picking up positive yardage. Fontainebleau's made some receptions connected on short passes, and they're not getting any positive yards out of it, though.
Skippers show 5 wide on 2nd down. Orgeron looking, great protection. Now will throw, and it is caught, and quickly out of bounds goes Boudreau.
Orgeron's pass complete to number 19.
Gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 4.
Nice job by Orgeron right there by himself.
To
Just a little bit extra time.
3rd down 2.
I think you're seeing some huffing and puffing on that D-line from Fontainebleau early on. They were really getting after it. They were getting nice push up front. Now, even when they do get a little bit of push, they don't have that second effort once they get into the backfield to keep up with Orgeron.
3rd down and 2. 5 wide set for Mandeville. Straight drop. Orgeron looking, cuts it up, in trouble, gets out of it, and throw on the run is complete. Parker Orgeron gets a block down the sideline, and he's gone. Parker Orgeron.
Cody Orgeron complete to Parker Orgeron. Just out of bounds.
Oh, and they're calling him out of bounds on the far side. Wow, what a break for Fontainebleau as the touchdown is called back.
36-yard line.
And they're going to mark the ball at the 36-yard line.
I did not notice, neither of us noticed. We're aided by the eagle eye of Charles Tiger Edwards, who has joined us in the shadows in the press box here to point out that he had gone out of bounds. A nice play nonetheless. Pick up a 1st down for the Skippers.
1st and 10. Orgeron in motion. Handoff to Ron Walker, and he's going nowhere. It's Ron Jones on the carry.
Hornsby leading the charge.
And it'll be 2nd down.
See a little bit of life right there again from the defensive line of Fontainebleau. They need to come up big right here. This is a big 2nd and long. You can't give up 6-7 yards and put them in 3rd and short again and allow Orgeron to make something happen with his feet. This is a big play for the Fontainebleau defense.
2nd and 13. 8 minutes to go, third quarter. Mandeville 21, Fontainebleau nothing. 9 on the play clock. Orgeron, snap, drop, pressure coming off the edge, and he's dropped! Great play call and a great play. As that was Mason Hornsby coming from the blind side and getting the sack, and it is 3rd and forever for Mandeville. 3rd and 20 to be exact.
Yeah, that's a great play call by Fontainebleau right there. We've just been talking about how that defensive line is working extremely hard, but they look gassed. So what do? You bring somebody in off the edge right there, make a big play.
3rd and 20. Orgeron, throw pressure coming over the middle, overthrown, and the Fontainebleau defense will get off the field. No harm, no foul, and they keep this score at 21-0.
Yeah, not only did Fontainebleau get them off the field, but what they did there was they brought in some fresh personnel, maybe not guys that are used to being out there quite as much on defense, but they brought in some athletes to move around, make some plays. Orgeron's killing them with his feet, not necessarily running for first downs, but buying time. Fresh feet came in there and pressured Orgeron, made him throw that one a little bit earlier than he wanted to.
Bulovas gets this one away, and this will take a skipper bounce. Oh, and look at this. Down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. So Fontainebleau has a 96-yard field in front of them, looking for their first score of the night.
And we saw last time that they took over when they were backed up near their own goal line. They tried to throw the ball to get out of that jam, and they put themselves in a tight spot. Did not throw with much success on that possession.
1st and 10 from the 4. Blocker, screen pass, caught. Lambertson gets a block, and this is going to come back. It's going to be a hold on the edge. It'll be a first down for Fontainebleau, but it will not stand.
Blocker's pass complete.
Well, and again, you see short pass by Fontainebleau, connects, makes a reception. They're not getting the same results, though, from those quick connections as Mandeville's getting. As finally Lambertson, is able to make something happen, but he's aided by a penalty on the outside there, so they're going to bring that one back. But maybe that reception will be a positive
holding penalty against
for
the
blocker and get some momentum moving here. As the Fontainebleau defense has come out and done their job on the first 2 possessions, got a big turnover, gave the offense the ball, and then when they gave it back, they stopped the Mandeville offense.
Since Fontainebleau was so deep in their own territory, they don't lose much on the penalty. 1st and 12. As this is Lambertson again, getting to the 6-yard line. 2nd down and 8.
Blocker to Lambertson.
Again, you see the same thing.
Making the stop for the
good
skipper,
pass,
number 14.
Good reception. Really some very good athletes in this Mandeville secondary is not allowing these receivers from Fontainebleau to make anything happen after the catch.
2nd down and 8. Play action again. Blocker rolling far side, throwing on the right, and it's intercepted. Coming back the other way, he's got blockers. This might go for 6, and it will. The 2nd Mandeville touchdown of the night. Evan Guillory's 2nd interception of the night.
Returns it for
and Mandeville has increased their lead to 27.
Blocker took a shot right there when he let go of that ball. He's a gutsy kid. You got to admire the fact that he stood tall in there and tried to fit that ball into what would prove to be too tight of a window. But you're at the point right now where you're down 21-0. You got 90+ yards to go. You're okay with him taking some chances, because if he doesn't take some chances, you're not going to get back in the ball game. At some point, those are going to have to pay off.
Mandeville calls a timeout as they could not get personnel on the field in time. Extra point attempt when we come back. 6:07 to go, third quarter. It's Mandeville 27 and Fontainebleau nothing. Out of the timeout, Joseph Bullivas on attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick up. Kick is good. So 6:07 to go, third quarter. Mandeville, it's all Skippers. 28-0 over the Fontainebleau Bulldogs. Joseph Bullivas to put us back into play. Mandeville with a 4-touchdown lead, as this one will be another touchback, as Ethan Cowan has just not been able to get his hands on the ball tonight. Just one return tonight. Joseph Bullivas has made Fontainebleau start at their own 20 just about every time.
Yeah, Bullivas got a very strong leg out there.
The Bulldogs think
Bullivas, who was the starting quarterback of this Mandeville team last year, just a junior. So Cody Orgeron, who came in, this is his first year with the football team, won the starting job. He's a senior, so you would imagine Bullivas, who has a strong leg, will take over starting quarterback duties next year. But that's next year. This is this year. Mandeville in this opening district game making a statement. Up 28-0 as Mason Blocker on first down, almost intercepted again. That was Alex Troyer.
Blocker's pass.
And Fontainebleau fans visibly frustrated with the play tonight, as there have been some spots where they've really shown promise, but turnovers and penalties have really killed the Bulldogs.
Yeah, there's just been a lack of consistency on the part of Fontainebleau on both sides of the ball.
Here's another screen pass, breaking a tackle, and it's a first down for Fontainebleau.
And that's what they haven't had tonight. They haven't had, what you just said, breaking a tackle. I don't think you've had the opportunity to say that when Fontainebleau's had the football yet tonight. And that's been a big difference in the game.
Lamberton on the reception, who has been the main target of Mason Blocker tonight, as this is going to be offsides on Mandeville. So it'll be 1st and 5.
And John, you mentioned the Orgeron brothers. They're obviously a nice pickup for Mandeville this year, the sons of LSU defensive coach Ed Orgeron. That's a football family right there, and I'm sure Coach LeCompte was thrilled beyond belief when those two young men walked through the doors on August.
Mason Blocker keeps it himself, and he is blown up. Stop made by Alex Troyer and Kyle Snyder. And Coach, you've talked about it. When they've run that read option and Blocker has kept it, Mandeville has not been having any of it.
No, they've really done a really good job, not just with Blocker, but Akawi hasn't had the opportunities, but there we see him right there. He hasn't really done a whole lot with the ball when he has gotten it.
3rd down following that short run by Brandon Akawi for a yard. 3rd and 6. And here's where we most likely will get to see Mason Blocker throw it down the field.
You're starting to see, and this happens in games where you have 28-0 kind of games, where Fontainebleau is starting to look gassed and the length of the game is starting to get to them. Mandeville looks fresher and fresher. They're chomping at the bit. They're more aggressive. They're flying to the ball. It's just tough for Fontainebleau to get anything positive happening here.
Blocker on 3rd down. Pump fake. Looking over the middle, and it is caught. What a throw from Blocker. Finding Cole Sissong. A flag is down. And
there's a marker on the play.
We will see if this play will stand on a beautiful throw from Mason Blocker.
That was a nice throw. That was not an easy pass to make right there.
Second announcement on a call that
really
needs
well
to be
covered
moved.
inside and
It's a
out.
white F-150 pickup truck. License number X960955.
Here's the call.
Terrence Holiday.
And it's going to be a hold against the Skippers. So the play will stand.
You got 10 minutes or it's going to be towed. Terrence Holiday, move your truck.
As we're going to have now an officials conference, which has been a usual sighting here tonight.
Not just tonight. We had a couple times last week as well where there seemed to be some confusion on the field with the officials. We've seen some interesting calls, some calls that at times we couldn't make heads or tails of, particularly last week. And now
they have moved the ball back.
I think they're gonna. It looks like that maybe they're declining the penalty and taking the first down yardage, perhaps. Nonetheless,
penalty against
they have declined the penalty, but the ball.
Result of the play is
the holding would have been an automatic first down, but less yards than the play netted for them. So 1st and 10 either way.
First down. Blocker with 4 receivers in his arsenal. Play action again. Lambertson on the screen again. Cuts it up and is tackled by Troyer after a gain of 4.
I think we're seeing a combination of 2 things right here. One is blocker settled down. He's making cleaner passes to these guys. They're not long passes. They're simple, quick reads. He gets the ball out of his hands. Receivers are making some plays. At the same time, Mandeville up 28-0. Those cushions are a lot bigger for those cornerbacks right now and those receivers. So you're seeing Lambertson with an opportunity to move the ball 5 yards instead of being tackled at the line of scrimmage. As you can see right here, you got about a 6 to 7 yard cushion.
Mandeville shows blitz. They come with it. Throw is dropped.
Blocker's pass intended
as Lambertson a little slow to get up, and now it does, and it is 3rd down and 5 as Drake Graham knocked that one out of the hands of Austin Lambertson.
Yeah, Lambertson's continuing to have his name called by Blocker tonight. We said that early. He had a couple drops early on, but you know Blocker trusts him. He keeps going to him. He's targeted him quite a few times tonight. And it's been Lambertson who's made some plays on this drive with receptions and finally getting some yards after the catch, as you see again.
Fumbled snap as it was low. Blocker fell back on it. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll be 4th and 10. As the snap from Tanner Borski was much too low for Blocker to handle.
And you could really understand either way that Coach Blocker goes right here, under 3 minutes in the 3rd quarter, down 4 touchdowns. Defense is playing better, so it looks like they're going to punt it away. Wouldn't have blamed him at this point for going for it, as you found some semblance of success at times here on that drive.
Sean Spieth to punt.
Sean Spieth on to punt. Orgeron and Guillory back deep. And it's a fake! Looking to throw! Back across the field. This one's only going to be a gain of 3. Fontainebleau executed the play, but it wasn't enough for the first down.
Yeah, well-designed play, and I think what you're seeing when they run that shift continually on that punt is they're looking for a numbers advantage in a certain spot when they shift, and it's an automatic call when they get that advantage. They had it right there. You're right. Well executed. Had it been 4th and short.
So Mandeville now gets the ball in Fontainebleau territory with a chance to put a dagger in this one. Orgeron on first down, throwing it deep downfield, and it's incomplete. Poor throw as Orgeron looked for Connor Lockhart. Coverage on the play by Gavin Scholl, who has had a great game defensively for Fontainebleau.
Yeah, Scholl's looked good back there. Another nice job by him as he was in good position. Would have been a tough over-the-shoulder haul for him right there. Let's see if we see some more of those smaller, quicker bodies in there on defense for Fontainebleau here.
Orgeron drops. Looking, rolling far side. Now throwing on the run. He's got a man caught! Down the sideline! Parker Orgeron hurdles a man into the end zone! Touchdown, Mandeville! Touchdown, Parker Orgeron on one of the finest plays we'll see all year, but a flag is down, and is the second Parker Orgeron of the night coming back. Oh, it would be a shame if it did, as that is one of the most beautiful plays we're going to see all year.
Interesting that the two Orgeron boys are excelling on offense here for the Skippers. And their father is primarily a defensive specialist. Perhaps the Orgeron matriarch does the offensive scheme coaching with the boys at the house.
Still no call on what that flag is.
Well, we'd be surprised if it was clear-cut at this point, the way things have gone thus far.
See it there on your screen, it's still on the field.
The only thing we know for sure is they are backing Mandeville up here.
So the touchdown will not stand. And just as a football fan, I'm very disappointed, Coach.
Well, at least we got to see it. It was really nice play. Perhaps young Orgeron was watching some of the fancy footwork of Leonard Fournette
on the Skippers.
This past weekend
Spot foul, marked it all the way back
against Auburn.
to the 38-yard line.
That was an impressive throw on the run.
When Orgeron gets outside the pocket, he has proven that that is where he is most dangerous. Not necessarily running for first downs, but extending the play, letting his receivers get open and beat the coverage. And he's thrown 2 touchdowns tonight. Both have been called back that way, but he has shown that he's very dangerous that way.
Absolutely. And Parker Orgeron has shown deceptive speed when he gets the ball in his hands outside on the sideline there.
So it'll be 2nd and 1 from the Fontainebleau 38. After everything is sorted out, as Orgeron's in trouble and he's sacked! He sidestepped one man, could not sidestep another. Christian Maroney got the sack. As it was 2nd and 1, it'll now be 3rd and we'll call it 6.
Yeah. Christian Maroney has been in the neighborhood all night long. Big 6'5", 250-pound defensive lineman for Fontainebleau, and he finally got his hands around Orgeron. He wasn't able to escape from that one.
Third and 6, Orgeron takes the snap. Quick throw is incomplete. Off the hands of Connor Lockhart on a very similar play to that Fontainebleau interception earlier. This one hit the turf, fortunately for Mandeville, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, you were holding your breath on that one if you're a Mandeville fan, because there was nobody on the short side of the field this time. Had that ball been picked off, it would have been very difficult for Mandeville to make a play on the Fontainebleau secondary had they gotten the ball in their hands.
It'll be another punt for Joseph Bullivas, as Cole Sissong is back deep to receive, standing at his own 10-yard line. Fair catch called for and taken in at the 11.
That's the fair catch at the 11.
Sissong kind of handed it to a Mandeville player. Referees did not see it, as that would have been a flag on the play. But nonetheless, Fontainebleau will start at their own 11-yard line. And if there is a chance for a comeback, it needs to start right now, as there are just 13 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned it earlier on in the 3rd quarter. The Fontainebleau defense has done a pretty good job here in the 2nd half. Though were it not for that penalty just a moment ago, would have given up yet another touchdown.
1st and 10 at the 11. Blocker, play action again, over the middle, wide open, caught! Sissong breaks a tackle and has a Fontainebleau 1st down.
Well, again, you're seeing Blocker get a little bit more comfortable in the pocket right there. He's got a little bit more time.
Anderson.
finds an open man across the middle. That's a good read, good pass. And look, they put up points the past 2 weeks. If blocker gets comfortable and they can move the ball quickly, they can find themselves back in the ball game. But you're right, it has to happen on this drive.
Here's a Cowie. First time we've called his name in a while, as he gets a yard, if that, second down.
A little bit surprised to see a Cowie getting the call at this point. But with the success that has come passing the ball in the last couple of downs, you got to figure to just try and keep Mandeville honest, as they have backed off the line of scrimmage in the secondary to give these receivers a little bit cushion. You're hoping that a Cowie, if he can break that first touch, would be off for a big gain.
Last play of the quarter possibly, as this one is caught on a screen route. Cole Sissong gets to the 32. A gain of 4 on the play. It'll be third down when we come back. That is the end of 3 quarters from the Dog Pound. The score is the Mandeville Skippers 28 and the Fontainebleau Bulldogs nothing.
St. Tammany Parish Public Schools, an A-rated school district. Graduates with the highest ACT scores in the state. Facilities with the latest technology. Safe and secure schools. A variety of sports. Fine arts. And learning to last a lifetime.
I'm Superintendent Trey Foles, and this is where we educate every child, every day.
Start of the 4th quarter here from the Dog Pound at Fontainebleau High School. 3rd down and 6, faces the Bulldogs. Snap, blocker, play action, in trouble, throw over the middle, it's intercepted! What a game it's been from Evan Guillory. He's got the hat trick. 3 interceptions on the night, and that might just do it. As hold the phone. We've got a flag. The original indication is that we'll go against Fontainebleau. And it will. Holding on the offense, the interception will stand. And with 11:54 to go in the 4th quarter, it looks like the Mandeville Skippers can put this one on cruise control, as they're going to start 2015 with a district victory over the Fontainebleau Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's another great play by Evan Guillory. 3 interceptions in one game against a very good quarterback. And, you know, you're going to see this kind of thing happen when a game gets lopsided. Everybody knows Fontainebleau's got to pass the ball. Blocker's going to stand in there. He's a tough kid. He's going to make tough throws.
Here's Walker.
Prince Walker
out to the 40-yard line. Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9.
Now, I assure you, this won't be an indication of how the entire year is going to go in district for Mason Blocker or Fontainebleau. They're going to find success in that passing game, as they are still a much improved team, but so is this Mandeville Skippers team, and that's funny to say, as good as they've been in the past.
Oh, nice tackle there from Noah Ruby, who has made 2 nice tackles tonight, as the pass was complete to Guy Lecomte.
Noah Ruby makes the stop.
It is 3rd and 7.
3rd down, 7.
If you take away the 2 defensive touchdowns, Coach, this Fontainebleau defense has really played well tonight, and it could possibly be a 14-0 game.
Yeah, it could, and I mean, you know, one of the interceptions was in the end zone. Fontainebleau had a chance to put points on the board right there, too.
Here's a throw deep.
And look who's there. I'll tell you what. 5'7", 140. Gavin Scholes, a heck of a defensive back for Fontainebleau. He has been a real bright spot for them in the defensive backfield tonight.
4th down and 7, and the Mandeville offense is remaining on the field. Orgeron snap. dropping, pressure coming, over the middle, caught! 15, tackled at the 11. Connor Lockhart, the deep threat, makes another big play over the middle, and it is first down and 10 from the 12-yard line for Mandeville in the hurry-up.
Good call there by Mandeville to go across the middle and not near Gavin Scholl again.
Mandeville looking to put the dagger in this one. Orgeron drops, screen pass, caught, and tackled at the 9-yard line was Fritz Walker.
Scholl makes the stop.
Gavin Scholl again on the stop.
Nice plays in coverage, nice plays making tackles in the open field. Because that, let me tell you, that seems like a nothing type of a play right there, but that's a real nice throw by Orgeron leading Walker. Could have been a big play if he makes one play.
Orgeron rolling right, throwing across his body, and he had a touchdown to Alex Boudreau, but Boudreau could not hang on, and he took a shot afterwards from Noah Ruby. And third down faces the Skippers.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see Mandeville continuing to throw the ball on the offensive here with under 10 minutes to go, up 28-0. But I think part of that is shows you the respect they have for the potential for Fontainebleau to put some points up on the board and gather some momentum.
2 on the play clock as Orgeron gets this off. Looking, rolling near side, in trouble, being chased by Maroney. Orgeron throws it, it's caught for a touchdown. It's Guy Lecomte, and again, Cody Orgeron extends the play with his legs and puts the dagger in the heart of Fontainebleau tonight.
Yeah, that's a great job by Orgeron again. You talked about it earlier in the game. Not necessarily him running for first downs, but extending plays and then finishing plays off with his arm. And again, 47, Christian Maroney in hot pursuit right there, just could not quite get there in time to make a play, as he's been all over the field tonight.
Extra point from Boulevas is up and good. And with 9:46 to go, it's been all Mandeville all night. The score is the Mandeville Skippers 35 and the Fontainebleau Bulldogs nothing. Joseph Boulevas to kick it off. Will we see another touchback from the junior? We will. Through the uprights. Wow. Joseph Boulevas. Good from 60 that time.
Yeah, that's a live leg. He may have gotten beat out of quarterback position, and nobody beat him out of his kicking duties over here.
So now the Fontainebleau offense still looking for their first points of the evening after really exploding the past 2 weeks against Bonneville and East Jefferson. They've shown promise in spots tonight, but really only one drive where they threatened to put points on the board tonight.
I think you're probably going to see another big play here, whether it's on offense or defense, because right here.
Looking deep down the sideline is Blocker. Underthrown. Did Nicholas Ford come down with it? He did not, as it was a ball that was underthrown from Blocker. Coverage on the play by number 26, Ian Braun.
And that's probably a pass that Blocker's completed in either one of the previous 2 weeks. But tonight, you know, he's banged up. He's taken some big shots back there. He's been pressured. Just didn't have quite enough on that pass.
Blocker will hand it to Cowie, who is met in the backfield. And aside from that first drive of the game, Brandon Cowie has not found any running room against this Mandeville defense.
Yeah, and that's a little bit surprising, because you expect as the game goes on, and you know it's not close right now, 35-0, that Mandeville would be sitting back a little bit more, so you would have the potential to pop a couple plays on the ground. But that defensive line is just been all over the place.
Blocker on third down. Hit as he throws down the sideline, and there's nothing there. As the pressure was forced from number 35, McGee McMullen, the 6'1", 203-pound junior for Mandeville. And the Fontainebleau punt team will come onto the field again.
Yeah, blocker got absolutely no help right there. There was no blocking in the backfield at all. No time. Had to just get rid of that ball quickly, not to take a sack. But again, absorbing another shot on that play.
Sean Spees,
Blocker's been knocked around a bit tonight.
Sean Spees on to punt, as this one is almost blocked yet again. Bounces around midfield and will be downed at the Mandeville 49 by number 18, Joseph Pizzolto. So now Coach LeCompte opting to stay with Cody Orgeron and his starting offense, up 35 with 8:46 to go, fourth quarter.
Well, I think one of the reasons he's going to stay with Orgeron is Orgeron's got great escapability, so there's not as big of a fear of him getting caught up. And the other thing is his backup quarterback is probably the best kicker in the area, and I don't think he wants to risk him getting injured, kill his kicking game.
Orgeron on a screen pass, which is blown up by number 11, Jacob Oliveri. First time we've called his name tonight. He made a big hit on Fritz Walker that time.
Check that, number 11, Jacob Oliveri.
Mandeville still throwing the football
Loss
around.
of 2, second down, 12.
Second down and 12 after a loss of 2 on first down. Orgeron looking left, throwing left, and it was almost picked. Instead, it was dropped by Mason Hornsby, who was at a pretty nice game tonight for Fontainebleau. Missed opportunity there from the 6'1", 190-pound senior.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a little bit more on offense from Taron Jones, because he proved to be a quick back in the backfield for them. And
third down, and this screen pass is blown up by Kyle Babin, and it's a 3-and-out for Mandeville.
that's a good job on defense by Fontainebleau. It's still being attacked offensively by Mandeville, and instead of sulking down 35-0, they're still getting after it, flying to the football. They haven't stopped playing out there.
Bullivas again on to punt, and Cole Sissong is standing at his own 18-yard line. Low snap. Bullivas handles it and punts it away. It'll take a Mandeville hop and a roll, and will be down to inside the 10-yard line. Another great punt from Joseph Bullivas. As with 7:15 to go, the Fontainebleau Bulldog offense looking to take the field again, but there is a flag down.
Penalty markers on the play.
Early indication is that it is against Mandeville.
Well, I would expect Fontainebleau to certainly make them kick that again.
Illegal procedure
That
against the
was an
Skippers,
excellent
5-yard penalty, 4th down, 17.
Illegal procedure, the call. As the Skippers will punt again.
That's going to give Sisung a little bit more of an opportunity here for a return.
Bullivas running onto the field to punt. 10 on the play clock. Better snap. Line drive punt. It's going to be fielded by Sissong, and he is tackled immediately by 4 skippers. Lockhart, Troyer, and Hamont all in on that tackle, as there was nothing there for Cole Sissong.
No, I admire
Bulldogs put in play.
his enthusiasm in going after that ball and trying to make a play, but Mandeville got down the field very quickly. That coverage on that punt was excellent.
So Mason Blocker and the troops come back out yet again. 7:07 to go, 4th quarter. Trailing 35-0. Play action on 1st down. Throw outside is caught by Sissong, and he is tackled after a short gain up to the 23-yard line.
On the stop, number 14, Emmert.
You've seen time and time again tonight, Sissong and Lambertson are clearly Mason Blocker's 2 favorite targets in the passing game. The problem has been that it's been that short passing game that's been most successful for them.
Blocker, handoff of Cowie, and much like the rest of the night, up the middle, there's nothing there. Tackle made by Kyle Snyder.
Yeah, and the running game is going to improve for them. It's an afterthought right now, 35-0 late in this game. The passing game, though, you know, the competition that they're going to face for the remainder of the district play, not to say that every defense in this district is as good as Mandeville's, but they're all very good. They're going to have to improve a little bit.
We got a timeout on the field with 5:58 to go in this one. The score is the Mandeville Skippers 35 and the Fontainebleau Bulldogs nothing. Out of the timeout, 4th down, or 3rd down for Fontainebleau. Blocker will drop, pressure coming off the edge, screen pass is caught. Akowie's got room, 35, down the sideline, 45, midfield and out of bounds. The bubble screen worked that time as Fontainebleau let defenders rush in. It opened up room for Brandon Acowie out of the backfield.
Yeah, and we've said a little bit surprised that we haven't seen them make a few more attempts to get Acowie the ball in the passing game. They did look to him on a screenplay early in the game that Mandeville defended very well, and they had nothing to do. But just get a little glimpse there of Akowie's ability to make something happen if he can get the ball in his hands.
5:44 to go, 4th quarter. Acowie in motion. Blocker snap. Read option, and Blocker is hit and dropped by Jonathan Picone.
Stop by number 7, Picone.
Well, there it is again. That read option Blocker keeps. And there's just nothing there tonight. I was talking earlier today with another football coach, Coach Scott Hildebrand, and we were talking about this matchup tonight and the fact that Fontainebleau was much improved. I'll come back to that.
Throw is caught by Lambertson, who is running laterally, now gets up the field. 40, makes a man miss, and is tackled at 38. And that will be another Fontainebleau 1st down.
On the stop, number 25.
One of the things Coach said when we had that conversation was this could potentially be a close game as Fontainebleau is greatly improved. But in the end, he felt like Mandeville had a good chance of prevailing. And what he said makes a lot of sense. Programs win football games. Teams don't win football games. Mandeville is the better program right now. Fontainebleau is a much better football team.
Oh, that was a nice catch by Sissong there to the 33-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down, inside 4.5 minutes to go.
Now we see Coach Blocker is having success early on in his first year here, and he is beginning to build this program here at Fontainebleau, and they're going to get better and better every year. This game's going to get more and more competitive every year.
4 wide this time for Fontainebleau. Handoff of Cowie. Got some running room. And dropped at the 27-yard line. You see a Cowie visibly frustrated with himself as he had a lot of running room there, but just could not keep his footing.
Yeah, and as a running back, you know, you get frustrated in games like this because when the game gets out of hand, you know you're not going to get as many opportunities to carry the football, get your hands on the ball. So when you do, you want to make the most of it. And he knew he was an ankle away right there.
First down, Fontainebleau. Bad snap, blocker handles it. Rolling right, looking, throwing a prayer to the end zone! Incomplete. Into double coverage, looking for Devin Fury. Ill-advised throw from blocker yet again.
Yeah, blocker was pressured right there. I tell you what, you know, again, you're going to see quarterbacks have the green light to make those kind of throws in a 35-0 game. Really, what's again is the most impressive thing tonight, as we know blocker can throw the ball. The most impressive thing is he's tough. He continues to stand in there and make plays.
Beautiful throw again from blocker as he finds Sissong. Ian Braun almost had the pick, and Sissong is down. And we are going to take an injury timeout with 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go in this one. The score is Mandeville 35 and Fontainebleau nothing. Out of the timeout, Cole Sissong able to walk off under his own power as Brandon Cowie, spin move to the 5.
Brandon Cowie.
First down and goal, gain of 11 as Brandon Cowie shows just how good he can be.
Nice assist by the back judge there to trip up a Cowie as he made his spin move. A Cowie evasive for the Mandeville defense, but not for the Stripes.
We have another conference as it looks like a referee is having some trouble, and we'll take a timeout. 3:03 to go, fourth quarter. It is Mandeville 35 and Fontainebleau nothing. First down and goal from the 4 for Fontainebleau. Looking to get on the scoreboard. Blocker, handoff, a Cowie lost the football! Scramble for it, Mandeville says they have it. And they do! Wow!
Skippers recover a fumble.
There's your story of the night. It's a very telling one as Fontainebleau close but no cigar all night.
Yeah, and you know, running that read option, a lot of teams run it and they don't actually read it. They call it the read option, but at this level they don't read it. It's a set play. It appears that the quarterback's reading the play, but he really isn't. It appears tonight that blocker is legitimately reading, and when you do that, there's the potential for some big plays, but there's also the potential for some miscues like we just saw. A Cowie clenching down on the ball thinking he had a hole and blocker trying to pull it.
Here on first down, run to the outside by Teron Jones. Gets to the 9-yard line. And looking ahead, Mandeville will improve to 3-1 overall, 1-0 in district. Fontainebleau, after 2 straight wins following their opening loss, will fall to 2-2 and will go to 0-1 in district. The Mandeville Skippers, just from what I've seen tonight, they've always been a threat in the district, but Coach, I feel like they can compete with Covington and Ponchatoula in this district.
Yeah, definitely. They've looked really sharp tonight. You know, we saw Covington last week looked very good against Salmon, but as we just heard over the loudspeaker, in the fourth quarter, Ponchatoula leads Covington 28-14. So those who thought Ponchatoula would take a step back, that is not the case.
Orgeron avoids a safety and is able to get out to the 2-yard line. Sack by Christian Maroney there to go along with Jack Jablonski.
There was another flag that came in late on the far side. So we have the traditional huddle of the officials.
Here's a call. It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bulldogs. So Mandeville is going to get some breathing room, and with 1:48 left, they should be able to just run out the clock and keep the Bulldogs offense off the field for the remainder of this one.
Yeah, John, you were just talking about the teams in this district. I think you're going to see 4 for sure, possibly 5 or even 6 teams from this district that could be in the postseason this year.
Nice tackle on the edge there from Noah Ruby.
Jones carries.
As this Mandeville team clearly looks poised for another postseason run. Ponchatoula presently beating a very good Covington team as we speak. Covington, Ponchatoula, St. Paul's, solid football team again. And then you're going to have Fontainebleau and Slidell Tigers both in the mix this year to qualify for the playoffs in 5A.
Play action, Orgeron looking, rolling. Will cut it up, and he's got room! Still on his feet, cuts it back! And it's taken down at the 34-yard line. Beautiful play from Orgeron.
On the stop for the Bulldogs.
Nice play. That's one of the things we just said. Is a little surprised to see Orgeron still out there, but he is evasive.
And Coach, going back to what you were talking about as we're inside a minute to go, fourth quarter, 7 teams from District 6-5A made the playoffs last year. Ponchatoula had an undefeated regular season. Fontainebleau got in as the 32 seed.
Right.
Mandeville actually defeated Slidell. So you're looking at 7 teams that made the playoffs last year, and many of these teams are improved for 2015.
Absolutely. I mean, the only negative for this is that they have to play each other week in and week out.
This is most likely the final play of the game, and I thought that Teron Jones was going to break it open. He was taken down by Kyle Babin, and that is going to do it tonight in the Battle of Mandeville. For yet another season, the Mandeville Skippers come out on top. The final score from the Dog Pound is the Mandeville Skippers 35 and the Fontainebleau Bulldogs nothing. We'd like to thank those who brought you tonight's game, starting with our superintendent, Mr. Trey Foles, our director of broadcasting, Dr. Melody Swain, cameraman tonight down on the sideline, Rhett is Sharp, and up here with us, Dave the Rave Williams, alongside me, Coach Bill Gallagher. I'm John Sartori. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week for Jules Sumner and Lakeshore. You are now leaving the Prep Zone.